Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the pirate Uber Alles Mod. As we keep going deeper and deeper into Austria, they are seemingly more and more reluctant to each go ahead in a with a peace deal. My big switcheroo that I've planned, where I will trade all the Austrian territories back to Austria in exchange from them releasing the French territories, which are under their control. However, they are not agreeing to this, and as this process goes along, we go deeper and deeper into Austrian territory, and new enemies pop up, like the Venetians, which is, I don't know, the Venetians have problems enough as it is, as they've been at war with, oh, they're no longer at war with the Ottomans, so hooray for them. The Ottomans are actually allied with the French. Interesting. There are alliances all over the place. In between last video, I gone ahead and actually asked them to surrender Croatia to me, and they did. And that force has retreated down here to the wineries along the coast. I notice here they've got a fishery here, which is rather stupid. Why would you not have a trade port? Trade ports are so much better. However, a fishery means that once I give this back to the Austrians, they won't be building warships here that in the future could fight me. The enemy keeps saying no, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Besides keep fighting them. So that's exactly what we will do. Before we go ahead and fight them though, there was a question from a viewer in Chile, South America. And he wanted more regional units to be recruited for the armies. And I thought, yes, that could be. And just thinking about it, you know, maybe a fast-moving Cossack army to go ahead and counter the Russian raiding forces or something like that. Or, you know, maybe I complement an army with some kind of European mercenaries. Unfortunately, I cannot recruit any regional troops. So the easiest way to go ahead and see what troops you can recruit is not to go through and look at every single province. I've actually done this before where I've missed that. I'm like, oh wait, I can recruit here, I can recruit regional troops. I've completely missed that. The easiest way to take a look at what you can recruit is to go to a general in the field and then recruit from him. Because then you get all of your different recruitment options. And what I can see is there are no regional troops whatsoever. We can only recruit Swedish troops. Perhaps it will come with future technologies. But as the game is specifically, or the mod is specifically set up to try and balance, you know, from doing too much military technology, I think it's a little bit overhanded, and I'm gonna show that. I've said it before as well, talking about it, and seemingly the AI is not able to balance at all, which means that all provinces we take over are like completely barren almost, or you know, comparatively to what you might think. So yeah, unfortunately, I cannot recruit any sort of regional troops compared to what I've done in sort of previous playthroughs. We will get this. We're starting recruiting national armies. Now it will be quite expensive because it's -10 per turn to town wealth. However, what I can see here is there's a voluntary local militia for a number of different areas. However, I mean, a lot of these are not particularly interesting local militia units. I won't be putting these on front lines. They would be guarding castles and so on. And the troops that we will be getting is either units that are sort of nondescript that everyone gets, or just Swedish units. So clearly, if we go through the list, and also I've gone through the list a little bit, there will be like no regional type troops, perhaps Highland infantry, but I'm not entirely sure if I even will get those. And troops from Algeria. A fat chance that I am going to colonize Algeria for some reason. But what I've gone through, actually, is I've gone through and taken a look at adding up all the minus wealth points, that is, per the technologies. So currently, let's see, where do we see this? Wait. Oh, yes, we see it here. Here is where we see it. So currently, it's 7. It's predicted to go higher though. So currently we get -7 to the wealth of provinces. If you calculate all of add up all of these, this one's the worst one. Reorganizing of procurement, that's -30 to get that. -30. I calculated all of it. If you add all of these up, you will get -100. Let's see, 102, I believe. Yes, -102 in regional wealth. And it's somewhat weighed up by the philosophy technologies. But the one philosophy technology that gives the most is classical economics, which gives +10, which not really on par with -30. So yeah, I don't know how that is planned to work out. A lot of nations, as we have seen, are not really able to balance this. Now this one is actually due to government corruption, so that's a little bit different. But some of the bigger areas, of course, France and stuff like that, they're gonna make money because big provinces gonna make money. But smaller provinces, say Silesia, which currently only has 550 wealth, and I get 162 income from it. It's even pointless even to tax it. It's probably best for its growth to... no villagers left, actually. It has all the villages it's ever going to get, which is 3, one of which that I haven't built even. Right. However, this is a territory that I'm thinking about giving away in the trade deal, so we're perhaps not going to do much there. Right, enough of that though. Charles is just about to be able to attack the Cossacks here. Perhaps when I take this, I'll be able to recruit some Cossacks. Probably not though. And perhaps when I take out the Saxons, I could potentially be able to recruit Saxon troops. A lot of other nations use Saxon mercenaries. The Austrians did, and the Polish-Lithuanian have both used the Saxons mercenaries against me. So perhaps now I will be able to recruit them. We can hope, but it doesn't seem likely. We've got it's actually equal forces. I've got 4,500 roughly. There's 3,500 in the castle. They're gonna be reinforcement by 1,000 units. So it's gonna be 4,500 against 4,500. However, I've got a pretty big advantage of the fact that my force is united, while their forces are split, one of which is stuck in a death trap of a fort. With that said though, let's go ahead and charge on and take on this fort. I do note here, just before we start, that this general, we've gone against him before, and he just barely slipped away with one of his bodyguards. Obviously, last battle that we had here against the Austrians and the Saxons, I think it was like 3 generals who died. So he's lucky that he managed to get away. With that said, though, let's bang the drum and bang those guns against the wall. And bring that fort down and the Saxon kingdom. And here we have the result of the siege. We deployed about equal forces. 4,800 on my side against 4,400 on the enemy side, including the reinforcements. However, the reinforcements actually never turned up because of a bug. However, the Austrian general actually was the one who turned up and honored the alliance and fought to the death inside the fortress. I ended up losing 1,000 men out of that, of my attacking force of 4,800, and the enemy lost 3,400. So that's all the defenders, plus a few Austrians that actually managed to get in and honor the alliance. But most of them sat outside because of a bug. Somehow the AI, the Austrians, were able to deploy their artillery outside the red deployment zone. So I guess that blocked the rest of the reinforcements from turning up. And yeah, I only had to fight like a handful of them. Not like a handful of units, like a handful of enemies. Right, highest killers goes to enlisted regiment, followed by Jönköping, followed by veterans of past war, and then we have grenadiers and so on as we go along. And then this reinforcement unit is this one right here. Didn't take part, didn't get anything for it. But with this, we just cancelled out the Saxons. Saxons are gone. We've got big imperial palace that is taken over. And I note here that I cannot recruit Saxon troops. We do get a pretty nice college though right there. Now we could continue and pursue to destroy the Austrians even more by taking over Bavaria. However, for this plan, my big switcheroo plan to work, I still want their capital on like this side. They're not going to trade their capital region, and I don't want the capital region to be jumped over to either of these sides. So we're going to have to bypass that. And I think then the idea now is, because they're not agreeing to the switcheroo, we're going to test by signing a peace agreement and then trying the switcheroo. So I think their wealth has reduced now as well, perhaps. They're mighty and affluent. Or has that perhaps increased? Because they just lost a load of troops that they no longer have to pay for. We're gonna go with white peace. And I'm sure they'll accept. And that pushes their troops out of our controlled area of Saxony here. I'm gonna send my spy in. Take a look what they've got here. They are, of course, currently at peace with the French. So that should also make it easier to conduct this deal. So let's go ahead and see if we can't do this then. So, Austria, I have an idea. We're gonna trade a few regions. I'm gonna hold on to Saxony. I'm not gonna trade that away. Right, so here's the deal. Will you agree to it? Niceties saving you from horsewhipping. God damn it. At least we'll have time to recuperate, reorganize our forces, to hit them again. Hopefully then with more troops. And I will, since my navy, wait, where did my navy go? Has it, there. My navy will be ready to pick up an army to be moved in to secure Paris. And then Paris will be handed over to the French immediately in exchange, hopefully, for colonies. Right. We just need to make sure that we can pacify the Austrians' areas enough so that we can keep control of him. I'm not intending to hold on to any of this, so I am not going to spend any money on improving. If anything, I would perhaps make sure that then the opposite of improved, actually burn some of it down. Or reconstruct it so that their ability to wage war is diminished. We did gain a big college in Leipzig, which we should put to work doing some technologies. What I can do is I can move this one over here and then move Leipzig to do the 4-field crop rotation, which is a pretty nice technology. This is this Austrian force is still here because this Austrian force is the rebel force. It's heading towards Vienna. We're gonna have to stop that. So even though we're technically at peace with the Austrians, we're gonna fight the Austrians here. We lost 400 men, they lost 1,000, and then their force is gone. We move back here. Wonderful. General gains some more experience, which is good. Probably need to put some money to work just to get some of the buildings online so they actually work in helping us control the populace. I'm surprised the French still hold on to this. They haven't put any money into it, expecting to lose it, I'm sure. Bothered not repairing the Governor's Hall for quite some time. With that, that leaves us with the Ottomans and the Cossacks. I have no opportunity right now to strike at the Ottomans, so we're gonna strike at the Cossacks, but first we need to end turn. So let's go ahead and do just that, and then fight our way across and take the wild fields. Naval technologies, naval shore facilities. I can't remember what this does. I think it upgrades our ability to build ships, which is good. Note of protest from Austria. Workers' riots. Note of protest from Saxony. Some thingamajiggies. We got research points. Lots of cavalry being recruited. Okay, so they attack with a force up here to burn this, but they leave their capital open. The capital do have a fort, which should be fairly easy to destroy. I was actually hoping for a river crossing battle. We've got 7,000 men ready to attack the fort, while they have 6,800 inside. So this is going to be a complete mess. There's no way they're going to be able to fit close to 7,000 men inside that little wooden fort. This is going to be absolutely bonkers. But that's what we're here for. So let's go ahead and kick some Cossack ass. We're a good 5 minutes into the attack on the fort, and as we can see, the troops are now closing in almost at musket range. Our cannons have done quite the work on the fortification, and we're hoping to open multiple entries to air out the castle, if you will, or the fort. What I've gone ahead and done is I've split them, as normally for this army, into brigades of 3 infantry units. This time around I've separated them from the pikes, because I'm going to send the pikes up this side and try to close out the gate, and then we're going to see about getting each brigade of 3 to hold each side of the fort as we surround them. And I would prefer if you didn't fire it well. Okay, so I can see cavalry coming already, and we just blow up part of that wall. I'm gonna concentrate the cannons on this side now. We got cavalry coming out. I'm gonna order the infantry to move behind as the pikes take the front. Let's make sure that no one's on fire at will. We got cavalry coming in here as well. Well, the good thing about all the cavalry that's moving out now is I have my own cavalry situated over here, ready for just such an opportunity. And here come the Don Cossacks charging head first into what I was about to say, my prepared pikes, but they were not prepared at all. Doesn't matter much though, as we're doing quite a bit of damage, right? Not as prepared over on this side, but this side is going to get support from the cavalry that's moving in. The pikes finally into prepared formation. You decide not to be prepared? I'm not sure. I don't know if the prepared position is even a good thing to set up. I think we want to see if we can get the infantry in between and get them to fire at the enemy. And then I should relocate the 2 grenadiers, so the Freedom Regiment and Lindström's, to go ahead and aid the cannons in blowing up the wall there. Right, here we go. Cavalry's coming in, attacking the townsfolk. The square is held off on the enemy cavalry. So there's a lot of like peasantry and stuff. Oh. We do have pike unit that's coming up there. Perhaps not too good to waste my good units on that. Let's see if we can't. Maybe these can hold the front, and then these regiments can go up the side. I want to see if we can't use the grenadiers to blow the wall up. Meanwhile, I'm gonna have to withdraw a lot of cavalry here because well, there was some nasty pikes in among all of this. We're gonna do some hammer and anvil strikes, or hammer strikes in this case, because we don't have an anvil besides the fort. Right, let's see about organizing the pikes like that. Damn, they threw grenades all over the place. Not only on the front wall here, but inside the castle and all over the place. Oh, we've already broken one of the townsfolk units. Make sure to pursue that one to destruction then. And then we'll order the rest of the cavalry to withdraw. I think we blew a few more holes in the walls here. These guys are good. I'm just going to order up the musketeers to go ahead and flank fire. Some of the cavalry units have lost quite a few men. Let's see, what kind of holes have we made? We can still blow here. So that's Lindström. Oh, and now we have troops coming out of the fort. Then it's time for the musketeers to take over. And let's see if we can't get these musketeers up to the flank here and aid. And then I want the cavalry out of there. Right, and we're getting up on this side. The grenadiers gonna have to fight here a little bit. Grenades and so on. Okay, these guys are now ready. I'm gonna order the grenadiers to pull back. I was about to say the grenadiers, which would have been a spectacularly nice American word. Unfortunately, the Lindström got stuck out there and they're temporarily broken. However, since they've only lost like 25 men, I figure they will recover soon and rejoin the fight. There's a lot of troops coming out here. This is a good opportunity for the Freedom Regiment to move into the side and throw grenades that way. These guys need to close in to aid the pikes. Right, there we have the pikes. What is this? They're just armed with muskets, then we can ride them over with the cavalry. Heavy fighting. Perhaps I want you to fire at least once before I send in the Freedom Regiment. Or Freedom Company, I should say. Alright, that's enough. Freedom Regiment come in. Where's Lindstrom? He's rallying. Just as I call for him. He's back. Right. We'll order these 3 for those. These 3 will move directly at Stanislavinsky's pitchfork people. Right, I feel like it's a bit risky to throw grenades here. I might throw into my own unit. They are breaking. Perhaps a charge then instead by the Freedom Grenadier Company. The Slavs. Might run over those. Run over these. Oh, one of my pike units have broken. I'll order the other one to come up behind that one. Seeing as though nothing is coming out of the fort to suppress that, what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2, pull them down to attack here. Or shoot these guys in the back while this one covers. Cavalry has done its job. I'm going to push in here so that we save the Finnish infantry from getting completely destroyed. I'm going to send out 2 of the cavalry units, and then the 3rd is going to join in here. I'm sure the cavalry will push enough to... Okay, we have another bloody unit that has come out of the fort. So I'm gonna have to order the Freedom Company, order them back because there was a unit that slipped through here. I feel like if these guys were to fire a proper volley, then we could get this one to waver and then charge in. And that's good. Lindstrom could perhaps be joined as to throw grenades here. We are losing tons of pikemen. I think I've blown a hole in every single part of the wall. This is the only part right now that does not have a hole in it. I'll order the cavalry to continue. This unit will retire. Perhaps we'll order the units now to climb this side of the wall. Okay, these I think they're done for. They've fought hard to try and secure that. And the troops over here, right, the 2 grenadier companies are back in order. Not much remains of the fort. It has been successfully surrounded. Now we just need to get inside. I have specifically held back the guard units because, well, they're expensive. And I do not wish to lose a ton of them. Claiming the wall is going to be a pretty good thing if I can get my grenadiers up there and I can do my regular grenade throwing. Looks like this side is going to be best for that. Or perhaps here, because there's cavalry on the wall. The enemy cavalry is stuck on the wall. Cossack shooters. Let's order in the Hakapelita. I'm gonna get the grenadiers up on this side, I think. That's probably gonna work. And then we're gonna order some more troops to cover this side. some of this is a pike, right? Yeah, one of these is pike. Pike cannot climb. Pike has to stay outside. But most of the cannon shots there are landing right in among their own troops. Or perhaps not use the grenadiers to do that at all, and instead just focus on overwhelming the fort by having infantry units climb every single side that hasn't been destroyed. And I'm going to order the guns to fire inside. The Hakkapelitas had enough, and even before I am able to order them back, they retreat. The 4th Regiment will deal with them, while the rest of my regiments now try to climb. Let's see, where did I put my grenadiers over here. They could potentially start to kill these guys. However, I feel like the risk of throwing grenades at the fort right now could risk blow it up while my troops are on it, so I don't think that's a good idea. The grenadiers will just stay there. I will order my guns to fire through here. See if we can bounce some shots through and kill some people. And then we can have the pikes potentially join through here. Let's order in Henriks, Royal Lions, and there, Forkum's Germans will be ordered in over there. Right, the walls are starting to become overwhelmed by all our troops going up. They even have cavalry. That's so little space because they deployed 7,000 people inside this fort that they had to put the cavalry on the wall. One of the first people who got killed with the cannon shots fired at the fort was actually their general, and I'm pretty sure it was a cannonball who hit the unit up here and killed some of the Don Cossacks. Interestingly enough. Right, we're completely overwhelming the fort from all sides. Don't know why they decide to come out here. That's actually perfect because I'm targeting that area with the cannons, and now we'll target it with the grenadiers as well. Although at the same time, overwhelming the fort like this is going to cause a lot of casualties on my side, which is not great. But it will look spectacular. Right, I'm starting to claim the center. We have units moving out of the fort, which I'm hoping here we're going to obliterate by throwing hand grenades on them. And I'm getting the 3rd Regiment here to pull down their flag, signaling the surrender of the enemy force. Also at this point it's probably best to tell the cannons to hold fire. Right, let's order in the pikes to join in on that. Did you ever... I was just about to say, did you ever even throw any grenades? And I just got the answer there. It's too risky now, we'll just pile on to them. If you could start returning fire, that would be great. Since they'll fight to the death up here on the fort walls, means that I'm probably gonna lose quite a bit of troops here. Whenever you're ready, you dumb bastards. Like, they're literally executing you. Just open fire, goddammit. No, we need to wait for Gustav, he's not in line. I don't give a shit about Gustav, just fire, goddamn you. Why? There's nothing. What? Oh, they are waiting for 2 guys. then moseying on along. Since you've been gone out of line, we have lost like 40 people. Crazy work indeed. And there we go. We are victorious. The fort has surrendered at this point, continuing would only cause more casualties for me. So it's just as well that we end it. Wonderful victory. As a result of that battle, we deployed 7,158, lost 1,881, leaving us with 5,000 men after the battle. They deployed 6,792, and they lost every single soldier. When it comes down to it, we have 2 units of Västgöta killing the most, 400 each, also losing half of the units in the process. Then we've got Helsinki Regiment, heavy cavalry, enlisted and so on. Didn't get good use in terms of killing enemies with the grenadiers. However, they basically opened up the entire wall. Besides, you know, the cannons did some of the work as well. But those grenade throws, they literally just sprayed the entire wall and then some, as some of the grenades flew all the way inside and exploded inside, which is great. And with that, we have conquered the Cossacks, which is good, which now leaves me with only 1 enemy, 2, because I've got the Venetians. However, why are they building like an Ottoman style fort there, and a large one at that as well? I do not want to get, I mean, I could go there, but it would only be to release Rome. However, since you cannot, in Empire, you cannot release areas to be vassals after you take them like that. So I would probably have to hand it over to another nation. So we would trade it away. Same with the Venetians. We would trade the Venetians away to someone that wouldn't be able to stop them coming back as their own nation. And hopefully, we would not be at war with them. I'm playing this like geopolitics type game that's not at all, you know, sort of built into the game whatsoever, because it's total war and you're supposed to take everything. You're supposed to paint the map blue in this case, because I'm playing Sweden. But that's not how I play it. I play it in this sort of roleplay type of way, putting limitations on myself and having these weird schemes, like we're trying to trade away all the conquered territories here, like 5 or 6 territories, to get like in the end get like 1 territory in why don't I was thinking, why don't I cut out the middlemen as like a big switcheroo, hand over like all this conquered territory to France, signalize a proper alliance with France, because I don't want to just create a border with France, with moved France, and then just for them to declare war on me. But I think the Prussians, my other allies, are at war with France. I would have to break my alliance with the Prussians. But it might just be the time to break the alliance with the Prussians, because ultimately I need to take these to achieve my great goal of taking all the ports along the Baltic, which is our goal, and also defeating the main enemies of the start. Poland is already gone, Saxony is gone. The 2 nations that remain is Denmark and Russia. So those 2 need to go, and then in this case the Prussians. I don't know if we count the Hanoverians for having this little border on the Baltic. So I don't know if we count that, but otherwise that's what we got left. But we're on all these side quests where I might be invading Rome, and in another sort of side quest and planning might be going to Istanbul, Constantinople. Anyways, or what I'm getting out of Central Europe is hopefully that I'll be able to trade it for colonies in the Americas, which is what you need. You need some colonies to be a proper empire. So far, I've got a slim control of vast territories of Eastern Europe, but that doesn't make an empire, unless of course you ask the Russians about it. But that doesn't make a Western empire. A Western empire has to have colonies. Colonies somewhere. And I'm not going to... I would buy Iceland from them. Suddenly, what am I, Trump? I'm gonna buy islands of Denmark? No. Piece of shit island with only fish as its only resource. Could be a good jumping off point towards America, but that's neither here nor there. Now we're fantasizing again. So it's time to end the video, and I'm just dragging it on with my different fantasies of conquering stuff. Unfortunately, as it seems, we're not going to be able to get any sort of locally recruited troops, locally produced ecological troops from the local area, but I will increase the recruitment to make sure that we've got plenty enough troops to guard such a vast empire. Having 2 armies for the longest time certainly has not cut it, and with the current production of troops, I think I will actually be able to add a 4th army and then perhaps recruiting all those Irish troops, wherever it was I could recruit them. Here, for some reason, in Ukraine, there's tons of Irish troops I can recruit. So 20 of those. Massive force. Sort of okay-ish in terms of their skill. They're equivalent to the Jönköping regiment, which is about the worst Karelian troop, I think. They're a lot cheaper, though. A lot cheaper. Both in... not in upkeep. They're a little more expensive in upkeep. But in terms of recruitment cost, it's a lot different. Anyways... better not drag it out. And the thing is, I've been talking about all these fantasies about doing naval invasion and so on, and then immediately some shit nation like Venice throws a wrench in my attack plan. What I think, reasonably, within the next turns, or what will happen when we come back to next episode, is that Russia has probably declared war on me, so I would have to turn Charles's army up towards Tataria, up here to the mudslides, and the more pressing matter in terms of fighting the Ottomans would be to go through the Balkans, through Bosnia, through Serbia, through Bulgaria, and so on, towards Istanbul instead, before thinking about going after Rome. But it could be, this task could be done by 2 armies, as such, with like some Irish detachments moving into Moldova, and could allow perhaps some troops to slip through here. I have no intention of destroying the Venetians. I'm hoping I can sign some sort of long peace with them, or set up some kind of peace treaty, so that we don't have to be at constant war with them. But that's the plan anyways. And as soon as I enter, the plan goes right out the window. But with all of that said, it is high time to end the episode. And with tying the bag, I will go ahead and say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!